Hey everyone, Tony here for the Civ Sim channel, welcoming you back to another exciting video for War Thunder. In this video I'm taking up the Ishak in a alternate history map alongside the Germans against the US and Britain. I've never seen, unless it's a premium aircraft, I've never seen the Japanese on this map, so which is kind of a shame. Because this map, I believe, was made when servers don't have enough players for all the teams, so it just puts people on this one. But the Japanese don't really seem to get that much love in this game for some reason. But they will in the next patch get some love with the there's some new aircraft coming up, and I'll be going over in a video in a little while on some of the preliminary patch notes for the new patch for War Thunder coming up, and I highly recommend that video. It'll be coming up shortly. But back to the action. Right now I'm just climbing up and gaining some altitude, and there's in the distance you can see one of my teammates in this game also climbing up in that red I-16. So again, this is the low-tier Russians, the Russian UFOs, if you will, with their OP flight models. Very over performance, but very fun to fly as well. So just flying through the clouds and some great cloud effects there. The scenery in War Thunder, I gotta admit, is and I've said this, I think, in previous videos, is very awesome. It's awesome. So it rivals even Flight Simulator X. As far as simulators go. So just looking, right now I'm just trying to spot aircraft, so looking, usually I try to stay around the AI in the game, because the other AI start to come, and when you're in historical battles, you know, AI, it's not that hard to you know, they aren't necessarily as big as player kills, if you will, but they still get you XP and plenty of lions. So they're more than worth the kill in a game, and they go, you know, you have to kill the AI in order to end the game, and so no harm with that. I know some people wish you didn't have to kill the AI in order to win the game, but you know, it's, you know, credits and experience for people, and so you know, if you're playing the game, you might as well go for the credits and the experience. So now, going with one of the players here. So, fire at him, flipping him around. I got someone on my tail, of course, so trying to get him off me. And there we go. Firing at that buffalo. Put him. And he seems to be going down. Going. Up. Going. Is he down? Yep, he's down. There he is. Alright. Kill number 1. Now, climbing back up. It's always good in, especially historical battles, to have some altitude. You never want to be too low. Low and slow usually gets you killed in historical battles, so you want to try and climb higher. So, climbing up, heading over to, I believe, Zone B, or Airfield B. Yep, that's Airfield A in the background. And spying for enemy aircraft. I'll fast forward a little bit in these videos just to keep the videos short. As historical battles, as if you've seen my previous videos, or if you've played War Thunder, you know that historical battles are very long. Full real and historical battles are the longest battles. Arcade can go long occasionally, but it's more action-packed than this, usually. Here it's just, you know, flying over the scenery, the trees, and the hills. A lot more tactical. Going around trying to spot one of the enemy aircraft. Oh. There's one of the aircraft. And there's one of the AI, and there's one of my teammates. The I-15. Don't I have a little bit of too much of a distance here, and that's one of the things is you want to try and get closer before you start. And you also have to be careful not to hit your teammate. So this is something that happens in arcade. You have multiple aircraft chasing just one plane, and usually someone in that position. Awesome paint job over there with that I-15. But you gotta be careful because especially in arcade, you'll just have people like grouping up on one plane, all trying to get the kill, and you end up killing your teammates, and you end up sometimes doing more damage to your own team than to the enemy. But people just like to fixate and try and get the kill for themselves. So not much you can do about that. You just have to try and avoid it, occasionally. But I think everyone at one point participated, willingly or not, in one of those. So, it's just part of the game. Just have to live with it, I guess. And trying to close in on that AI. Fine now. Trying to get some hits. Still a little bit too far, though. I gotta get closer. One of the things you want to try and usually get close, because when you're closer, you're more likely to hit them than when you're far away. I'll go a little too far, not really getting anything. A little closer. Because those AI are very maneuverable. Yes, they are. Little hit, but not so much. Closing in the gap though. OP shooter. Any closer. Yep, hit him. And I think I've criticaled him at that point. Yep, he's going. I'll chase him down now to the ground. Make sure I get the kill. Going, and he's down. Yep, and I've got the kill. Fortunately, I did kind of steal it from my teammate over there, so that wasn't too nice. Probably shouldn't have done that. But in War Thunder, sometimes with the kills thing in War Thunder, if your teammate doesn't get him, he's still up there, and if you end up dying and, the AI is the only one left, then, that can ruin the game. And at the end of the day, it really is about winning the mission objectives and about winning the game. So, that's the big thing about, the strategies. You really want to win the game, because that's when you get more XP and credits. And if you lose, even if you've got more aircraft, sometimes you don't get as many credits as if you've won the game. So you always want to try and get the objectives and at least win the game, which is either taking out all of the ground targets or taking out all of the enemy aircraft. Speaking of aircraft, I'm just scouting now, looking for enemies. Be they AI or a real player. Just scanning. Some more. This is actually a great aircraft. Small, very fast, and very maneuverable. So, yep, there's that Blenheim. I'll try and rocket him. Yep. Oh, but I missed. Probably should have fired just a little earlier, and I probably should have set the rockets on impact instead of a few meters away, but that's alright. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's hilarious when they do work, though. Although, you know, if unless you're the one being rocketed, then it's awesome when it doesn't work. So he was lucky. But then again, in one of my previous videos, I was in the Kai-10, and I believe it was another Ishak on the enemy team trying to rocket me, and he missed. So, you know, I guess you know, it evens out after a while. So, there's, I think, one of my teammates coming in, and of course the AI always want to get into the action. So now we've got 3 aircraft and myself, so 4. Going around over here. Obviously, got to watch out for that AI. I mean, why do I always say AI? AA flak. So, I think in every video I've called the AI for some reason. Speaking of AI, there's one of the AI biplanes. I think that's the I-16. Maybe. Teammate's still shooting. That teammate's gonna get him though. Oh. And I think that. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. There goes the. He's going down. Trying to see if I can get a shot into him before he hits, but he's crashed before I get to him. Probably. Yeah, he's definitely going down. Yep, he's down. So about this time, I've kind of ran out of ammo. I'm kind of out of rockets, so I'm gonna land and repair. Took a few hits there with the Blenheim, so I'm gonna land now. And you got what's your speed? Aircraft like the Ishak and the early BF-109s, you gotta be careful with landing because it's very easy if you're going too fast and you try to brake that you're going to flip the plane over, and so you gotta be careful with that. Still going a little too fast here, so I'm not gonna land. I'm not gonna risk it. Some might say that, you know, it's not really worth it to go around, you know, and you know, just land hard, I suppose, and just crash and repair, I suppose. But you know, I always like to try and, you know, land a little bit more professionally, just to, you know, just for the off chance that I actually land and not crash on landing. So it's always worth it. Trying to slow down. I was going a little too fast and a little too high, so just gonna make some S turns. About a second, just trying to slow down. I'm not sure if that's. I think that's our team. One of the friendly AI controlling the base. And the teammate in the red biplane, I believe, is down there repairing as well. So circling around, flaps down, trying to slow down. So you don't want to slow down too much or you'll stall into the ground. That's happened not only to me, but I've seen others do it as well. But it happens to me too. So a lot of times when I'm pointing things out, it's because it's happened to me. So again, I make these videos not just for myself, but to also give tips to future players as well. And there's that awesome looking biplane. I'm not sure if that was one of the paints you could get for it. That might be one of the paint schemes you could get for that. I'll have to look. So down, still going way too fast. Gotta hit the brakes here. Trying to keep the nose up. So, but still trying to brake. And brake it. Oh, and yeah, yeah, I kind of butchered that. Yeah, I have to practice a little bit with the high speed. Sometimes it's just better to go around, but I guess then again, you crash it. It doesn't really take that long to repair, I guess. So I suppose sometimes it's just better to crash than to waste 2 minutes trying to land and then still crashing anyway. And there goes my teammate. And he's off. Well, I sit pathetically on the ground. Well, I'll be off soon in a second. Yep, here we go. Rolling down the runway. We're airborne. Gear up. Alright, let's see who's left. You know, trying to find one of the enemies. Which is, at this point, I'm starting to see that the counter is starting to go low with the ground targets. So I thought I might not be able to catch this guy, so I'm thinking it at this point is, probably just taking out some of the ground units. Or see if I can't rocket anything. Some of the armored cars, probably. So I'll see if I can hit some ground targets. Again, it's not bad if you get, a bomber and fighter. It's XP and credits, so. And of course, I like to take out the AA because it's very dangerous, especially in a smaller aircraft like this. One shot and you're blown up, so. Going in on the run. Lined up. First I find the rockets. Got one. Fire again. Yep, got him again. Alright. Pulling up. Really can't wait for ground units, ground forces to come out, the tanks for War Thunder, and for combined armed battles. I believe that's going to be awesome when you're in an aircraft and you're shooting live tanks. Obviously, the live tanks, people won't be too happy about that, but I think it'll be a good game for just the tactics and it's just going to be awesome, I think. Now, at this point, I've been hit by one of the guns. I believe it was from one of the armored cars. So at this point, I am leaking fuel. Now, I could go to A, but A's got ground forces coming in that are enemies, and they're shooting at it, so I probably don't want to go there, so I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to head back to B, hopefully before my engine dies. That's one of the big things with single-engine fighters, especially with the Focke-Wulfs. You get one shot in the engine, and it dies. I'm guessing, that's because you got a big engine and a lot of parts that need to work, and if one of those parts goes, I suppose the engine goes. So, because a lot of these fighters were, really built around, like the P-47 was built around the engine. The engine made the aircraft. So, when they get hit, it starts to go. You lose hydraulics, you lose oil, you lose, wiring, etc. And if those work, the engine dies. So, sometimes I like the two-seat fighters because if one of the engine goes, you still can fly. Although maneuverability is very badly limited in those heavy fighters like the Kai-45, the Beaufighter, the ME-410, etc. So let's see, and the A-10 as well. Again, trying to land. This time I'm not gonna do so much of the trying to slow it down and everything. If I flip over, I flip over. Let's see if I can't flip over. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Crossing the threshold. Gear down. Alright, didn't hit. Bottom gear down. Trying to slow. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Looks like I'm gonna make it. And let's see. Yep, I think I've made it. Slowing down, and no. Oh, I didn't make it. Ah, well, you can't win them all. And that's about just the game. After I repaired and headed back up, basically the game was pretty much over. One of my partners, I believe, shot down the last aircraft, or he got one of the ground targets. I'm not sure. And basically, I'll just be shooting at as the counter runs down and trying to kill one of the destroyers with my rockets, and that's about it. Well, that's all for this video, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. Please rate, comment, or subscribe. I'll especially leave the feedback. I really want to know what I can do better. And until next time, this is Tony Kubek signing out. Have a great day, everyone.